The law of attraction explained what I learned after 60 years. If someone had told me 40 years ago that my thoughts would shape my life, I would have laughed. I was the kind of man who believed only in hard work. Wake up early, grind, repeat. But looking back now, at 60, I realize I had missed the most powerful law of all, the law that Bob Proctor talked about his entire life, the law of attraction. It's not magic, and it's not just wishful thinking. It's about alignment between what you think, what you believe, and what you act upon. When I was younger, I used to think life was a straight path. Go to school, get a job, raise a family, retire, and hope everything works out. But life doesn't reward those who just follow the path. It rewards those who create one. And creation begins in your mind. I remember the first time I really listened to Bob Proctor. He said, "If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand." Those words hit me harder than any motivational quote ever did. Because for years, I had been seeing only my failures. I visualized problems more than possibilities. My thoughts were full of fear of not having enough, fear of losing what I had, fear of not being good enough. And that's exactly what my life kept giving me. More fear, more struggle, more limitation. It took me decades to understand that your thoughts are like seeds. You plant them in the soil of your subconscious, and eventually, they grow. But here's the catch. Your mind doesn't care whether you plant weeds or flowers. It just grows whatever you feed it. So, I began changing the seeds. Every morning, instead of complaining, I started affirming. I would wake up and say, "Today, I attract peace, abundance, and health." At first, it felt silly, but slowly, I began noticing changes. People around me changed. Opportunities appeared out of nowhere. Even my health started improving. I realized it wasn't the world that had changed. It was me. Bob Proctor always said, "You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are." That one truth flipped my entire mindset. I used to chase success. Now I become the kind of person who naturally attracts it. Think about it. When you worry all day about money, you send out a signal of lack. The universe doesn't hear your wish for wealth. It hears your energy of fear. But when you start believing, truly believing that you already have enough, you open yourself to receive more. The law of attraction isn't just positive thinking. It's about shifting your frequency. You can't tune into the success channel while broadcasting on the doubt frequency. Now, some people call this philosophy too spiritual. I get that. I used to think the same. But here's what I've learned. This isn't about religion. It's about awareness. Every thought you think has a vibration. Every emotion you feel sends out a signal. And those signals come back in the form of people, events, and experiences that match them. It's like tuning a radio. You get what you broadcast. At 60, I've come to see that the world outside is just a mirror of what's happening inside. When I was frustrated, the world looked hostile. When I was hopeful, opportunities appeared. When I was grateful, life gave me more to be grateful for. You see, gratitude is the key that unlocks this whole process. I didn't understand gratitude when I was young. I used to think it was just saying, "Thank you." But real gratitude is deeper. It's feeling rich even before the money comes. Feeling healthy even before the sickness leaves. Feeling loved even when you're alone. That emotion creates the vibration that pulls better things into your life. And no, it doesn't mean you just sit around and dream. Visualization without action is just imagination. But when you align your thoughts, emotions, and actions, you become unstoppable. You stop chasing life, and life starts meeting you halfway. I remember when I lost my job in my 40s. It felt like the end. I was scared, ashamed, and angry. For months, I kept repeating, "Why me?" But then I remembered what I had learned about the mind. I decided to shift that question to, "What is this trying to teach me?" That one shift opened doors I couldn't see before. I began freelancing, learning new skills, and eventually building something of my own. The more I focused on possibility, the more possibilities appeared. Bob Proctor used to say that most people live 90% of their lives reacting instead of creating. That was me for decades, reacting to bills, reacting to problems, reacting to fear. Now I respond. I pause, visualize the outcome I want, and then act in alignment with that vision. Life still throws storms my way, but now I'm not the man fighting the waves. I'm the one steering the boat. If you're watching this and you're over 50 or 60, I want you to know something. It's never too late. You can start today. Age doesn't slow your dreams. It only slows your excuses. The moment you change your dominant thoughts, your life begins to follow. Here's what I do every single day, even now. Visualize clearly. I close my eyes and see the life I want as if it's already here. Feel it deeply. I imagine what it feels like to live that life. Freedom, peace, abundance. Act accordingly. I take one small step every day toward it. That's it. No magic. No shortcuts. Just mental discipline. And if you think you're too old to start, let me tell you, I've seen people in their 70s launch businesses, heal from lifelong illnesses, and find love again. The law of attraction works the same for everyone. The only difference is who believes it long enough to see it work. Let's talk about belief. Belief is the engine behind everything. When I was young, I believed life was hard. Guess what? It was. Now, I believe life is generous, and somehow, it keeps proving me right. The universe is not testing you. It's responding to you. Most people fail because they let their senses dictate their mindset. They look at their bank account and lose faith. But Bob Proctor taught me something powerful. Don't let your circumstances control your thinking. Let your thinking control your circumstances. When you see abundance in your mind, your reality slowly bends to match it. The results don't come overnight, but they do come. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. That sounds too easy. It's not easy. It's simple, but not easy. It takes consistency. It takes the courage to keep believing when nothing seems to work. It takes faith in yourself. But once it clicks, it's like the whole world rearranges itself around your new mindset. I'm not sharing this as a theory. I've lived it. I've seen it work in my own life, in my friends' lives, and in countless people who decided to shift their focus. When you start expecting good things, you begin acting differently, and that's when miracles happen. So, if you're feeling lost or stuck right now, start with this. Sit quietly for 5 minutes today. Breathe deeply. Imagine your ideal life. Don't focus on what's missing. Focus on what you desire. Feel it, believe it, and take one small step toward it. That's how you begin. The biggest lesson I've learned in 60 years is this. Your mind is your greatest factory. Whatever you order, it manufactures. If you order fear, it delivers problems. If you order gratitude and belief, it delivers blessings. So, ask yourself tonight, what are you ordering? Because the law of attraction never stops working. The only question is, are you using it consciously or unconsciously? You have the power to reshape your world, no matter your age, no matter your past. All it takes is a decision to think differently, to believe again, and to attract the life you once thought was too late to live. And trust me, when you start doing that, life will surprise you in ways you can't even imagine.